They called it an emergency family meeting, but when I joined the group chat, the first message I saw was my cousin writing, "Poor Tiffany is still jobless. Someone needs to help her." The next message was worse. "She's probably living on noodles by now." I froze. My own family had turned me into a joke, and as the chat filled with laughing emojis, I just sat there, gripping my phone, heart pounding. They thought I was broke, helpless, pathetic. They had no idea what I had built in silence. Before I tell you what happened next, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story. Because trust me, you won't see the ending coming. I wanted to reply, to defend myself, but instead I stayed quiet. My aunt typed, "Let's all meet on Sunday and discuss Tiffany's future. She can't keep embarrassing the family like this." Embarrassing. The word burned. For years, I had missed birthdays and reunions because I was busy working day and night, building something no one believed in. And now they were planning an intervention for me like I was some lost cause. Then my phone buzzed with another notification. But this time, it wasn't from the family chat. It was from my assistant. "Boss, do you want me to prepare the presentation for Sunday?" My lips curved into a smile. If only they knew who they were about to humiliate in that meeting. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, my brother sent a voice note. "Tiffany, we love you, but you need to accept reality. Maybe find a small job? Anything. We can't keep covering for you forever." Covering for me? They had no idea that the company signing their paychecks was mine. What they didn't know was that Sunday wasn't going to be an intervention. It was going to be the day I turned the entire family chat into a live nightmare. I walked into my old family home on Sunday, the place where every corner reminded me of the times they all laughed behind my back. My mother greeted me at the door, with a fake smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Tiffany, honey," she said softly, "we just want what's best for you." The living room was full. Every aunt, uncle, cousin, all dressed like they were attending a board meeting. My brother, Adam, stood at the center, holding a stack of papers. He looked like he was about to announce my punishment. "Finally," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "We can help you find a job, Tiffany. Something stable. Maybe a receptionist role?" Laughter rippled across the room. My aunt added, "Or maybe housekeeping at a hotel? At least then she can stay busy." I felt the heat rise in my chest, but I kept my face calm. If only they knew the hotel chain they were talking about had signed a 7-figure deal with my company last month. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed on the table. Everyone saw the name flash on the screen. Daniel, executive assistant. Adam frowned. Executive assistant? For what? A job application? I smiled faintly. Something like that. I picked up the call and put it on speaker. "Ma'am," Daniel said, his tone crisp. "The investors are asking if you'll join the video call now or after your family meeting." The room went silent. My uncle blinked. "Investors?" Adam stuttered. What investors?" I leaned back in my chair and looked around the room, savoring their confusion. "Don't worry about it. This is just work." But then my mother slammed her hand on the table. "Enough games, Tiffany. We know you're struggling. We've seen your social media. No vacations, no new clothes, nothing. You can't lie to us." I almost laughed. The truth? I chose not to post my life because I didn't need validation. But now, maybe it was time they saw what silence had built. And that's when Daniel's voice broke the tension. "Ma'am, the CEO of Westbrook Holdings just confirmed. They'll finalize the $50 million acquisition today, under your name." Every jaw dropped. My brother whispered, "What? Did he just say?" I slowly put my phone down, letting the weight of that number hang in the air like a bomb. But this was just the beginning. Because the next thing I did made the entire room spin out of control. I didn't say a word. I just pulled out my laptop, placed it on the table, and opened a live dashboard of my company. The numbers glowed on the screen, like a slap to every smug face in that room. Revenue in the millions, active deals, international clients. Gasps filled the air. My cousin, who once told me to stop wasting time on stupid ideas, leaned closer, blinking like he couldn't trust his own eyes. "What is this?" my uncle asked, voice trembling. "This," I said, calmly sipping water, "is the company I built while you all laughed at me for being jobless." My mother's lips parted, but no sound came out. My brother's jaw clenched. He looked furious, not proud. "You could have told us," he snapped. "We were worried." "Worried?" I laughed softly. "No, Adam. You were mocking me. You all decided I was a failure because I didn't brag about my journey." My aunt tried to jump in, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "Tiffany, sweetheart, we didn't mean—" "Stop," I cut her off. "You meant every word. The family chat, I saw it, every single message." The room froze. My brother muttered, "You weren't supposed to read it?" "Oh, I read everything. Poor Tiffany, living on noodles, can't keep embarrassing the family. Guess what? While you were busy insulting me, I was hiring people smarter than all of you combined." Daniel's voice came through again on speaker. "Ma'am, the legal team is ready with the acquisition papers. Once you sign, you'll officially become the youngest majority owner in the group." I glanced around the room slowly, meeting every stunned eye. "Do you know what that means?" I asked softly. No one answered. "It means," I continued, "while you planned an intervention, I was planning an empire." Just then, my brother slammed his hand on the table. "This is insane. You think you're better than us now?" I tilted my head, smiling. "No, Adam. I know I am. But then—" My mother stood up, tears streaming. "Tiffany, you don't understand," she whispered. "We're broke." Silence hit the room like a storm. "Your father's bad investments drained everything, the house, the savings, even Adam's car loan. We're drowning in debt." I froze. "What?" Her voice cracked. "You think we cared about your joblessness out of pride? No. We were hoping you'd help us, before we lose everything." I stared at her, stunned. The same people who laughed when I failed, now begging for help? Adam slammed the table. "You can't let the family fall apart. You have money. Don't be selfish." I met his glare, my voice ice. "Selfish? Where were you when I skipped meals to survive? When I begged for help and you turned your backs?" No one spoke. The silence was louder than any excuse. Then my mother grabbed my hand, her grip desperate. "Please, Tiffany, just this once. Save us." My chest tightened. For a second, I almost felt pity, until I remembered every humiliation, every cruel joke, every time they treated me like a burden. I looked straight at Adam and asked, "How much do you need?" He hesitated. $3 million, to clear the debts and keep the house." A bitter laugh escaped my lips. $3 million, after years of treating me like dirt. Everyone stared, waiting for my answer. My mother whispered, "Please, don't destroy the family." I closed my laptop slowly and stood up. "Destroy the family?" I said coldly. "No, Mom. You already did that the day you let them mock me." But then, an idea sparked in my mind. Something that would not only save them, but make sure they never forgot this day for the rest of their lives. I stood there, letting the tension simmer. Every face in the room was pale, eyes begging for mercy. $3 million. They thought I would just hand it over like an ATM. No apology, no regret, just entitlement. I smiled slowly, the kind of smile that made them shift uncomfortably in their seats. Fine, I said. I'll help you. But on one condition. Adam leaned forward instantly. Anything. Good, I said. Because starting tomorrow, this house belongs to me. Every car, every piece of furniture, every asset you still have. I'm buying it all, at market value. And when I do, you'll live here as tenants. You'll pay rent. To me. Gasps echoed around the room. My aunt clutched her pearls. You can't do that. Oh, I can, I replied calmly. In fact, the papers will be ready by tonight. If you refuse, well, the bank will take this house in 2 weeks anyway. At least I'm offering you a roof. Adam's face burned red. This is blackmail. No, I said, leaning closer. This is business. Something you all told me I'd never understand. I pulled out my phone and dialed Daniel. Transfer $3 million into my mother's account, I instructed, loud enough for everyone to hear. And send the property agreements to my email. Yes, ma'am. Daniel replied without hesitation. I ended the call and looked around the room. Congratulations, I said, voice dripping with satisfaction. You just became my tenants. My mother broke into sobs. My uncle whispered under his breath, I can't believe this. I turned to the door, picking up my coat. Believe it, I said, because this is the new reality. You all laughed when I was building it. Before stepping out, I looked over my shoulder and delivered the final blow. Oh, and one more thing. Sunday dinners? They'll still happen. But next time you'll knock before entering my house. The room was dead silent as I walked away, heels clicking like a victory march. For years they called me poor, worthless, a failure. Today, I left them broke, humbled, and living under the roof of the woman they once mocked. And that, my friends, is why you never underestimate the quiet one in the room. Because while you're busy laughing, she's building an empire.